Hello, dear students. I am Dr. Bindya Sharma, and today we are going to study about energy and sustainability in our lecture series of integrated water management. So, let's first talk about what is energy. Most of the things which we do in our day to day life, we rely on energy. And how does that energy comes from? Most of the energy which we are using in our day to day life comes from fossil fuels. Actually, fossil fuels are these energy which is stored from solar, that is sun's energy, in the form of various type of fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, or natural gases. But the consumption of these fossil fuels have a disadvantage that they are non-renewable, as well as they are creating a harmful impact on the environment. So therefore, whatever we are relying on our fossil fuel are creating an in negative impact on the environment. But again, because we don't have sufficient amount of renewable sources of energy to rely upon, therefore still we are making use of the fossil fuel like coal, gas, oil, etc., to be consumed as the sources of energy. But in today's time, we need to think and we need to shift towards the renewable sources of energy in order to attain sustainability and sustainable development. So sustainability is a concept which refers to the meeting people's need but without compromising the future generation needs. That is, we need to rely on the renewable sources of energy for our needs of energy, but still we should not compromise with the environment, because as we know that whenever we are using fossil fuels, they are harming the environment. We can see the issues like global warming or emission of large amount of greenhouse gases, or we can see the problem of ozone layer depletion, climate change nowadays. So we need to shift towards the sustainable energy resources. Sustainable energy includes all those resources which cannot be depleted, that is renewable energy like solar, wind, water, biomass, etc. So that is why if we shift towards the from fossil fuel towards the renewable sources of energy, that can help us to achieve a sustainable development. So the basically, if we want to live on this earth, we need to protect this earth also. Therefore, sustainable development is a must to be achieved in the coming years. It is defined as a progress that satisfies the requirement of current generation without endangering the future generation needs. Because energy will be required for our future generations also. But at what cost we are going to achieve that energy targets? Not at the cost of depleting all the energy available to us at present in the form of mostly the fossil fuels. So therefore, sustainability is not a thing to be achieved in a very short duration. It is a long-term goal, basically. And therefore, we need to link it with many perspectives. It's not always easy in our day-to-day life if we bring small changes like reducing the energy consumption. So our small steps will lead us to the sustainability, achieving the sustainability goals, and finally to the sustainable development. So it focuses on the sustainable development is basically it does not only focuses on the conservation of the environment, but also it focuses on three basic things, that is developments: economic, social, and of course the environmental. So the Sustainable Development Agenda 2030, adopted by all nations members states in the year 2015, says that we have to achieve 17 sustainable goals, which are termed as 17 SDGs. because it is an urgent call by the all countries, whether they are developed countries or they are underdeveloped or developing countries. So India is one amongst them. They focuses on the um, reducing the poverty, unemployment, safeguarding our earth, safeguarding all the natural resources on land, water, air, which are being provided by the nature, and thus reducing the climate change global impact of the negative impacts which we are facing today because of our energy consumptions which are being fulfilled by the fossil fuel. So this is an agenda which is set to be achieved by 2030, and we are trying to focus on these achievements to achieve maximum of these sustainable goals. Now let us see what are those 17 sustainable goals. So first is no poverty, then zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, providing clean water and sanitation to everyone, affordable and clean energy resources should be developed, and then decent work and economic growth also should be achieved by nations. Industry, innovation, and infrastructure developmental activities to be made. We should reduce the inequalities which are there prevailed in our societies. Sustainable cities and communities should be developed. We should also focus on responsible consumption and production. We should also focus on climate action. That is, we should also see what steps we can take to reduce the global impact on our environment. We should also focus on life below water, that is marine life, aquatic life, as well as the life on land also, that is our environment, air, land. We should also provide justice, equality, and we should also develop strong institutions for the same. And partnership for the goals also should be made. So these are the 17 sustainable developmental goals set for the Agenda 2030, named as SDGs. This is yet another SDGs wedding cake representation. In at the bottom or the base, we can see the biosphere, and then over it relies the society, and then it is economy. All three of them, that is economic development, social development, and environment, they are interlinked and interrelated. They rely on each other. To achieve all the goals, we need to focus on these three pillars of sustainability. So the three pillars of sustainability are economic development, social development, as well as the environmental protection. So these are named as the three pillars of sustainability. We need to achieve all of them. We cannot say that we have to focus only on environment and excluding the economic and social development. No, it is not about achievement of any one of the goals, but yet we have to focus on achieving all the three pillars or the goals. So what does that social equality, economic efficiency, and environmental responsibility means to us? Social equality is about living conditions, about like what has been discussed in the 17 goals, like removing poverty or eliminating poverty. Economic efficiency again leads to the providing employment to all. Environmental sustainability or environmental development means whatever actions we are taking for the social development and the economic development should be sustainable. Let us see one by one. Let us start with economic development. So as we know, we need to focus on economic development because without this, no country of the developing nation will move in the category of a developed nation. So we have to focus on economic development because it is a must. We have to make progress. We have to go for industrialization. We have to focus on developing a nation. So the base is for any kind of development, economic development is a must. So it is something like a demand supply market. So we need to make options available. We need to provide jobs. We need to make such availability of getting employment to everyone, which will ultimately lead us to the economic development. It's about enhancing or improving the quality of life which a people or a citizen of a nation should deserve. And the economic pillars amongst the 17 goals lies like no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, decent work and economic growth, and industry, innovation and infrastructure. If we see the economic pillar, we can see that by providing employment, definitely the poverty will reduce. And when the poverty will reduce, the zero hunger problem will be solved. And then the people will be able to get access to good health also. And then how they are going to get that is when they will be employed. That is, everyone should have a decent kind of a job. Industry, innovation, and infrastructure only will lead to the jobs, because the job opportunities will be there when we focus on industrialization, infrastructure, because for every kind of a development, manpower is needed. Manpower is must condition. So when the manpower will be required, it will ultimately lead to the jobs, and it will ultimately lead us to the focusing on the environment, economic development, or achieving the goals for the economic development. Next pillar is social development. It is also a very important pillar because it is about the um, health issues which are prevailing, and then it is about the making strict rules, regulations and laws which are also needed to provide a good quality life for any citizen, providing education and reducing the gender equality in the society, and reducing the inequalities amongst these people also uh, in the society. For example, the policy should not be such that a rich becomes richer and a poor becomes poorer. It should not be like that. So equality should be developed. We have to also focus on sustainable cities and communities. We should also focus on providing a strong legislation to the people. They should not, they should be, they should feel secure in their nation. And we have to also focus on the partnership for the goals amongst the different nations. So if we cover the social development, if we focus on these all practices, we will be making our social pillar stronger and stronger. Coming to the next pillar, which is a very important pillar to focus upon, is whatever economic development we need to achieve, whatever social developmental practices we need to make, should consider one of the major factors or the issues, and they should address to the word environment. Environmental protection is a primary concern for sustaining the humanity. It defines how we protect our ecosystems, air quality, land usage, water quality. We have to focus upon. That is, we need to provide clean water and sanitation to all. So our government also is focusing on these environmental pillars by providing or again by establishing some of the governmental steps, like a different type of missions they have started to focus upon the environmental protection and to make this pillar stronger. Affordable clean energy, like government have started giving subsidies on solar, use of solar energy. But we should also be responsible as a consumer. We should also be responsible in the production of the energy. We should also consider whatever steps we are taking, It should not go against climate or the environment. We should also take care of the other organisms, that is aquatic ecosystems. We should also take care for our forest, that is the life on land. So if we are concerned about all these environmental factors, we will be making our environmental pillar more strong. So now in today's time, we have seen that we have exploited our environment, we have exploited our globally, we have exploited our environment in a huge manner. But still, there is a time we can do some remedial changes for the same environmental protection by choosing a sustainable energy practices. We can go for achievement of all those 17 sustainable goals by choosing a right path of sustainable energy. So students, that's all for today's topic. Thank you.